What's up, lovely people? I hope you're all great. I am fantastic. In today's discussion, I have the pleasure of hosting these wonderful ladies on the discussion about love and the very famous phrase that love is blind. Before we get into the discussion, however, I'd like to give a disclaimer and state that all views expressed in this video are our own and not in any way affiliated with organizations we have worked with, are working with, or will work with. And without further ado, let's get into it.
As I've introduced this already, we are going to have a chat about love and the very, very popular phrase that love is blind. And I have two of my very good friends with me here, Dolphin and Nancy. Introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Dolphin, not like the fish.
Like the fish is an E.
um, I like country music and watching documentaries on YouTube, air crash investigations, serial killer documentaries, kid geniuses, not in any particular order.
Okay, Nancy.
Hi guys, I'm Nancy Kenya. What do I love? I love food. Yes, I love food.
You love food and late night shows.
Yes, I do love late night shows. Trevor Noah, Stephen Colbert. Oh, inasemanga Colbert. I don't.
Trevor Noah.
And a specific old guy. The old guy anaitwa nani?
Stephen. I don't know. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's something for old guys.
Guys.
Yeah, that's something for old guys.
Dolphin. He's a good. Okay, he's a good.
That specific old guy. Anyways, I am Naomi, Jerry, Mohio, and what do I like? I don't know. I just like anything. I love reality shows. I love reality shows, and I love keeping up with Kardashians. Nancy, you can hate on me all you want. Yeah, I do love reality shows. Nancy hates them. Anyway, moving on to today's discussion. Love is blind. The very first question I'd like to ask is: did you believe that love is blind?
Yes, I do believe that love is actually blind.
In what sense?
Because when you're in love, you tend to turn a blind eye to some things that are quite obvious, if you ask me. So then what other explanation is there? Because most of the time, your friends tend to point out something that is wrong with your partner and not you. So why is that? I mean, are they seeing things you're not seeing? Hence the phrase, love is blind.
Nancy?
It's not blind. Love is not blind. That's my take. Dolphin has said that you tend to see, but you don't look at them. You don't like
Pay attention.
pay attention. So it's not that it's blind. You can see these things. You just choose not to see them sometimes.
Yeah,
So
not
it's
people that
blind.
acknowledge them.
So they are there. You're not blind. You're just choosing to be blind. So love is blind for people who choose to be blind, not everybody. Yeah, and it should not be blind.
Yeah, I also don't think, I absolutely don't believe that love is blind. You can see these things for sure, 100%, but you choose to ignore them. And I feel like now the phrase love is blind is people justifying some pretty stupid decisions they made.
Sure.
Come on.
True. It's true.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
true.
I agree with you.
Even now you're blaming it on love. Yeah, so like,
You know what, guys?
You go.
I mean, I don't think it's something that you cannot tend to agree with if you've not been in such a situation before. So maybe you're yet to be in that situation, and then only then will your perspective change. So I'm
So
not
we-
saying that. I'm not saying that you guys have not been in love before, but I think what I'm trying to say is that it takes that one experience to change your entire perspective. Because I was you guys once. I was. Trust you me, I was.
No, Dolphin, I think people start with love is blind, and then they realize along the way, it's not blind. So, and then they stop. It's not that you believe it's not blind, and then you believe it's blind. I think it's the other way.
You believe it's blind, and then you believe it's not blind.
Exactly, because Kitambo, we were all, you watch this concert, those times when you used to watch telenovelas, you're like, okay, true love is blind. And then along the way, you just realize, it's just stupidity sometimes. Sometimes it's just, I don't know what.
I never really thought about it that deep. I was just there for the cute guys and be like, oh my god. Anyway, my opinion is what I say is love is not blind. And what can be seen as being blind is you trying to justify things, not even trying, actually justifying things or accepting things that otherwise you would not accept because you care about this person. Like, sure, I don't stand for this, but given this is what given this is for them or done by them, then I do think I can try to accommodate it. So you tend to stretch your boundaries and your comfort zones and your beliefs, even in some cases, to accommodate this person, not because you can't see, but because you care enough for them that it won't bother you that much what else you do because of that.
Mm.
That's my take.
Do you think, okay, you said it's not blind. So, do you think people should like compromise like a lot to that extent that it's blind? Like, to which level should people compromise? What are the things that you can be blind to, and what are the things you can't be blind to?
I think I'd like that question answered by Dolphin.
Hmm.
um, when it comes to that, so before you make any decision at the time that, oh, I'm happy, cloud nine, blah blah blah, and all that, just think of the worst case scenario. Think of when you guys break up. Will you be happy with the decision you've made? If yes, then go ahead and do that. But if you are not able and you won't be willing to live with the decision if things fall apart, then you'd rather not compromise. So there are things you can compromise and live with in the future, but there are things you just can't live with when you compromise at that time. So, in my opinion, before you make any decisions, before you compromise, think of the worst case scenario.
You know, when you put it that way, then you just also prove the love is not blind.
Exactly. You just said
But you
like you
see,
have to look at. Mhm.
this I would say that being in love puts you in a state of being blind. So of course these are things that I cannot see when I'm actually in love with someone, because yeah, love is blind, but it's something that I'm able to see when my mind is clear and I'm not in love. So you see,
But
love is the only constant in this equation. So
well,
if you're going to say that, oh yeah, when I meet a guy and then he wants me to have kids, and I know and I believe that I don't want to have kids, I will not. I'll tell him, walk away. But if you meet this guy and then you fall in love, you might start thinking twice.
no, yes, you know what? In that case, I will think, now I know I don't want to have kids. What is the worst thing that will happen if I had kids? And also, what is the best thing that will happen if I have kids? Do you know what that means? It's not blind.
Yes, but you see, you can't make
Oh,
that
what?
decision when you're actually in love with this person. Do you
So you're
get my
saying
point?
you go ahead with it?
I mean, it's much easier to see things clear when you're not in love than, actually being in that state of, being in love.
So, love. How long does it take for somebody to like fall in love to start doing these things? As in, do you just meet somebody, you think you like them, you start dating, and then you start doing like crazy things that you would never not do? Or do you just take time? You know this
I think
person, eh?
I think Nancy is asking at what point do you turn blind? Anyway,
Yes, because not not blind.
I think the magnitude of this decision or this action that you're going to take is what determines whether you really should do this thing or not. That's what I'd say. Like if it didn't have a long term effect on your life, on someone else's life, maybe really think about it. And like she said, if you are not in this situation, then would you actually do this? And if the answer is no, maybe you actually still should not do it. Uh, yeah, should not do it. And again, another thing people really need to think about is when you're in a relationship, you want the best and you're hoping for the best. But sometimes things go south. And you really have to think about that. And before you say love is blind, can you think about the situations, the decisions that you're making in your blindness and how they could potentially affect your life if you're not in this situation? I think that's something very important.
Exactly.
Yeah, true.
You also look at your values, like what do you value, like what your inner values, your outer values, like can you compromise them or should they never be compromised? So before you make a decision, how will they affect what you believe in yourself and believe in the world?
Another thing that, yeah, Nancy has talked about your beliefs and what you believe in and how far should you go when it comes to accommodating another person and compromising what you believe in. Yeah, sure, again, I do believe you shouldn't go there being very stuck in your ways, like, no, I believe this and this is it, and if it's not, then to hell with you. But again, you should really, really, really think about what you're not willing to go beyond or to push, what boundaries you're not willing to push. And another thing that I guess really is, I don't guess, it is really important, is money issues, money and love and blindness. I think that's the best way to put it. So where do you guys stand when it comes to money?
Delphine? Delphine, I'd like to hear.
Uh, when it comes to finances and relationship, that's actually a very, very, very delicate matter, because you've seen situations where people do not want to be with someone who is already established because, in their opinion, this person would think that maybe this person is with me just because of my money and my achievements and all that.
If I'm being
But
truly
then again,
low
yes, go
key,
ahead.
I'm just saying, if I'm being truly honest, that is something that would bother me. Not because you necessarily think that I'm there for the money, but I'd also feel like you might be looking down on me.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So go
yeah.
ahead.
I also take that as a problem. I wouldn't
Yeah.
date somebody who is like overly established. I'll just have to be like, mm-mm. I don't feel appreciated. Feel like your
Yeah.
money like, occupies your world. I'm just somewhere there.
I know you're just breaking your back and thinking you've really achieved, and they're like, that's cool. Okay.
And then in your head, you'll be thinking that everyone thinks you're with this guy just because of the money, when in the real sense, maybe they are not, or maybe they are. You never know.
You never
But
know.
then again, you also don't want to be with someone who is not even in a position to provide for themselves.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm willing to go through that struggle with someone who is not, at that particular point, not able to provide for themselves. So maybe the ideal person would be that person who has that full potential. You can see in them that they know this is not where I want to be. They have their goals set, they have their plans ready. So, to me, that is an attraction. I would want to be with this person and then, struggle together so that we can build our own empire. But then again, I'm that person who normally thinks of the worst. So what if we build this thing and then, somehow things don't work out, things fall apart, then what next? You see?
That's, that's
So
a
with me, when it comes to finances, um, I don't really know where I stand. I need to read books and talk to people so that I can
Oh, I
I
have
can
a book that
form
I
my
can send you.
opinion.
Okay. Okay. I'll add that. When it comes to money, be independent. Like everybody, have your money, but know how to manage. On that part of maybe dating a girl is either wealthy or not wealthy, or just you'll not date a guy who is not wealthy and they have no plan of getting somewhere where you're going, right? So somebody asked me
Mm-hmm.
this question. I used to tell some when I during my attachment period, I was telling guys that you have to look at the potential of somebody, and they're like, "How will you know my potential?"
You
So
can
how do you
tell.
know?
You can tell.
Exactly.
I
I was
think
like,
you
tell, but by looking at their goals, the goals they have set for them, and how hard or smart are they working towards achieving these goals. And then they're like,
it's
no,
not
you
even
can't
a
tell.
goal.
But I was like, you can tell. There's a man who is comfortable with living in a bed sitter for the rest of the 20 years they're supposed to live. But there's somebody who is like, they may be in a bed sitter, right? But they're working towards improving, changing that life, like making something for them, not just being comfortable with what they have.
That's very true.
Mhm.
And there's a difference between having a goal and actually working towards it.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
the thing was saying, what was she saying? Yeah, sure. I definitely would not be with a person who cannot take care of themselves. Please, if you're not able to, pay your bills and maybe get a few other luxury things that you want, not like buy a car or anything, just take care of yourself, be comfortable. Like you don't have to stay awake overnight thinking about where my rent is coming from. You need to be comfortable enough to take care of yourself. And again, when it comes to like having an overly rich person, I'm cautious when it comes to this. Not just because actually I'll feel like now I have to really work so hard to, measure up, but also because I feel like I don't know if you actually have the capability to work to get here, especially in cases where this wealth is inherited. I
Mhm.
don't know
Yeah.
if this got away, if we don't have this. Are you able to actually work your way up and get here? And it's not a bad thing that you inheriting wealth. Of course, it's a good thing not having to start from square zero. But even then, are you able to maintain that and are you able to multiply it? So that's something very, very important to me. And that's why I stand with finances. Another thing is Dolphin said talked about investment. What I is it okay to invest with someone whom you're in love with if you're not married? Or what kind of investments can you make or should you not make?
Investments in them, it's like, is it loaning them something, giving them money, or what are we talking
Actually,
about?
actually, literally investment, like it sounds like in it's loaning money. Loaning money is a whole new thing. But investments
Mm.
like buying land, maybe building, maybe starting a business, that kind of investment.
Together when you're dating.
Yeah.
Hey. Hmm.
Um,
Good.
I would think that yeah, it's okay to invest with the person you're in love with, but just make sure that before you consider this person as your partner, no, as your lover, make sure that he's your business partner. So be professional first before you get into the relationship. So bring in the lawyers to draft a contract should things go wrong. Have an agreement that is actually written down on paper. Do not have any verbal agreements whatsoever. Please do not. Do not. I mean, this might be considered as, not looking at things in the positive way, or maybe not trusting someone. But it would save you. It would save you in the end because I don't
A
think you
big
guys are losing anything because if it turns out to be great, then okay, fine. We might not have to, end up in court or maybe use this contract. But still, it's kind of like just have your own safety net if you're going to invest with someone you're in love with. So that's my own opinion.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I
I
absolutely do not agree with people who say that then you're already jinxing the relationship by doing that. It's absolutely stupid to turn a blind eye to one side and just look at the positive. You should always think about the negative. Go, Nancy. You had something to say.
Yeah, I was
Mm-hmm.
agreeing with her, like, there's a relationship of the, like, that relationship you have, and there's a business side. I would
Mm.
say, like, let there be a boundary. You know that outside of this relationship we have this, and this is how we're going to manage it, whether we're together or whether we are not. So the contract, everything else, put it on that side. When it comes to this other side, it's a relationship. Let's do maybe those stupid things you're saying we do together, but let it not affect the
Yeah.
business. Yeah,
I
that's
call them stupid.
they're stupid.
You know,
If you do them later, oh my
I
god.
normally do not like people who say, um, let's deal with that when we get there. No,
Ooh,
no,
that's
let's deal with
a
this now.
statement. Yes,
True.
yes.
You know,
Um,
let's deal with it when we get there. No, no way, don't do that. Let's just, deal with things. Yeah.
you can start dealing with a crisis when it's already happening. Like I think you need to be prepared for this.
True.
And it
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, it's very important to be professional. I think now I'm just repeating, but it is like have it written, please. Have it written down and have lawyers. Like it only makes it professional. And we want the best for this relationship. But if this relationship does not work, do you want everything else to go down with it just because you are, trusting in love? You don't.
Yeah.
You don't. Which again, now talking of businesses and contracts, how do you feel about prenups and postnups? But just talk about
Yeah.
prenups.
Okay.
I'm gonna sign that. I'm gonna sign that.
I
It's
also
my safety net.
I would also sign a prenup. By the I don't think that they're bad things. I do agree that sometimes you have to sign those things. Like if somebody believes maybe you're going into the relationship for money or if they're insecure or something, but why would you be insecure maybe if you're marrying the right person? But if it just comes out like what are you there to lose? You're going to make your own money. You're just saying your money is your money and my money is my money at some point, right? So sign it. There's no
Yeah.
problem. So I don't find how people feel offended when they're told like maybe let's sign a prenup. Why are you feeling so offended? Like I had this
And
money when it came to this relationship, you had yours. We're just saying yours, stay with it, mine let me stay with it. But later on maybe we can create together the one that we maybe share.
so you don't believe, or let me not put the idea into you. So I think you've already actually expressed it. You don't think it's a sign of distrust.
Yeah, at some point it's
No,
just
it's not.
like that point you were saying that you would not maybe marry a very rich guy, like date a very rich guy because you believe that maybe they might see you there for the money, right? So like you can tell them, hey, let's just do this. Let's sign a prenup which says that your money is your money, so that whenever things go down like they're bad in this relationship, don't say I'm here for your money. We've already established your money is your money. So yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not even, by the way, there's something I'd like to make known if it's not already clear. It's not only for the guys. You also have your own money that you need to, and it's not at the, no, I'm not even rich right now. I don't need a prenup. Unless you actually have no plan of making the money, you need one. That's important.
Yeah, you
You-
really, really
it's
need one.
important. Yeah, it's important. It's important because one, if we have it, if you know and you're willing to sign this, then you're only here for love, I suppose, and companion. And also, it also goes to show that if for whatever reason we don't work out, you do not have ill plans to take my money, and I do not have any plans to actually, like I don't have a hidden card where I will want to take your money. I think it's important. I think it should be just like you do this for your business, your personal savings and investments in yourself. It's also a business, and I think it needs protection.
I agree with that completely.
Yeah. I feel like there's something else that you want to talk about, Tumesahau.
The love is blind. The money part. I was looking at reasons why like people we say love is blind. It's because people do some stupid things, right? And one of the reasons was like that one, like people have like an ultimate goal, a financial, like they know they have a financial payoff from it. So what they do when the relationship is bad, they'll stick through. Let's say it's a girl, you'll stick through because you know yourself. You don't have any financial plan for yourself. You don't have a safety net for yourself. If things go wrong, you're back to zero, even not zero, negative. You're going to start from zero.
A lot of people
So
getting stuck in relationships.
mhm. because of some small things, and some of those things are money. So it's always wise for the lady to be like, have some financial literacy for yourself, know how to save, and try to differentiate his money and your money. Like, it's not, sometimes it's not yours. If things go wrong, what will you do for yourself? Something like that.
Yeah.
You just gave me another perspective on a prenup. It's not
Mhm.
just protection, it's also motivation.
True, yeah.
Mm.
It
It's
is
also
motivation.
motivation. Yeah, it's also motivation because if you're not already working hard, you know you need to work hard. And here is another thing: the fact that you have a prenup does not mean, let's say, actually, I've been working hard, but I've not been successful, and I've been in this relationship, and now it's ending, and I had a prenup. If actually I was dating a decent person, the fact that we have a prenup doesn't mean they can financially assist you. It only means they're not legally obligated.
Mm-hmm.
Sure,
So I
sure.
think, yeah, so I think maybe some people don't want to sign it because they have the fear of lakini ikiharibika sasa nitafanya nini, I'll be nini. The fact that utajipata hapo, you should not even be in that relationship, because if that person will truly know that you're not able to take care of yourself financially
Guys,
and they'll let you think, you should
can
not
you
be
hear
there.
me?
Yeah, I can.
But you see, this still goes back to the very first point that we made. When we say that we want to be in a relationship with someone who is able and willing to take care of themselves, it cuts across both genders, male and
Mhm.
female. So that, if you're dating a rich guy or a rich
Naomi, are you
girl,
noticing I'm not in the conversation? My phone got lost.
Well, at least I can hear you, so we know you're around, but we can see only like a green background.
in my own opinion, it would be very, very stupid to, be stuck in a toxic relationship simply because you're not able to provide for yourself. I mean, I would understand if you're, sticking around for the kids, but the fact that you're not able and willing to provide for yourself, come on. If you're going to get in a relationship, make sure that you can take care of yourself first. Don't rely on this other person to take care of you, because you'd be a burden to them. So, just take care of yourself. And then when you're able to take care of yourself, you're able to exit that relationship once it becomes toxic. Because, I can live with this guy. I'm able to take care of myself. Uh, Maybe I might not spoil myself as much, but at least I'm able to pay for my essential bills. So the very first thing you should do for the sake of yourself and for the sake of your partner is to make sure that you're able to pay your own bills, you're able to take care of yourself so that you don't become a burden to them.
Sure.
Well said. Well said, but I feel like Dolphin, you might be being maybe very harsh. I don't know if harsh is the word, because life is very interesting. There are people
Mm-hmm.
who work really hard and they are really trying, but it's just not working out for them. I would say maybe don't make this money, whether you have money or not, a make or break, in the sense that no, I cannot be in a relationship. I cannot do this. No, I can't, and I can't. But it's something that you should always be thinking about. Maybe, yeah, you should be thinking about. I think what I'm trying to say is, don't make all other aspects of your life stop just because you don't have the money. But there are some things that should absolutely stop. Like, let's say, as a woman, if I get into a relationship and I know I cannot take care of myself or anything, like I'm zero without this other person, I will not you should not have children. You should not have children
Mm.
if you cannot take care of them, which again brings ile point yenye ulisema ati you will understand if you're sticking through for the kids. Again, I don't agree with that.
So you
Nasi
see,
your
okay, no, I was not like encouraging people to stay in toxic relationships just because they have kids. I'm saying I would at some point, yeah, I would understand. But then again, for me, it's not. I mean, I can't just simply get in a relationship if I'm not able to take care of myself. That's just me. I can't.
I,
I
I
also
I
would
can't
do
be
it,
a
but
burden to that person.
okay, let me
Go
go.
ahead.
I would do it either, but I just don't want it to be like, to put it out there to people who are like, no, don't do this. This is really bad. It is bad, but make that decision yourself. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
As
Uh,
you wanted to say?
yeah, I wanted to say that point. Like, never get into a relationship if you like can't handle yourself. I think so, because you'll always feel like this other person is like doing too much for you when you're doing nothing at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you should not make money the main thing, but at some point, it's like you being a burden to this other guy, and
That's
Yeah.
that part on seeking it out for the kids, like be financially stable in such a way that if something goes wrong, even the kids will notice something is wrong in the relationship or something. So staying might even be a greater damage than you leaving.
yeah, because
Mm.
I think people are too obsessed with bringing up children in traditionally whole family, and you forget the fact that children tend to learn from you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Tend to learn from you. And would you rather be out of this relationship and just raise them alone, however you can, and in a happy home, or even they're being raised by your partner, whatever, and still be happy and not see things like fights and argument all the time? I think that would be better.
Exactly. You can
Mm-hmm.
just tell them like I think most kids will understand if you tell them this didn't work out, but then you don't have a bad relationship with the parent. You can co-parent. They can see their father, they can see their mother. They're in good chance as long as they're not together and making their lives miserable.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's
Okay.
true.
So apart from like these like the financial goal, like the one of the things that makes people stick in a bad relationship in the name of maybe love is blind or something else. What are the other things that people do like to stay in love, like in a relationship that is not right, that is wrong?
There's
Why
the pressure from the
are you
society. Pressure from the society.
don't even
You know,
start?
if I'm if I'm um if I'm around 28 years old, 29, almost 30, the society expects me to bear children, be a mother, and all that. But
Is
you
that
see,
society going to raise those kids for you? Are they going to pay the school fees? Are they going to
I
give you your happiness?
I know takwa
as
tushoni
much as we
until
want to ignore these people, as much as we want to shove them off, some of these people are just our family, our very, very close family. My mom, my dad, my aunties, my uncles, who raised me. So, I can't just, shove it off. But it doesn't mean that I'll just take everything that they say. At some point, I have to compromise. Because, like it or not, my husband to be is going to pay my dowry. If it were up to me, that would not be the case. But you see,
how do you
the
mean?
society has come again,
How how do you mean if it were up to you that wouldn't be the case?
because again, a lot of people attach, the practice of paying dowry to paying for someone's
Yeah,
life. So they take you as a possession. I paid for your
yeah,
dowry, so you're mine. You see,
yeah.
it's things like that, in a way, really affect marriages because Nancy, that is also one of the things that, make people stick in toxic relationships because they're like, if you want to go, then refund me the money I gave your parents as your payment for dowry.
Yeah,
I will
and
pay.
I think unajua, and that's something I'm trying to make us think about. It's not everybody who can. So yes, dowry was paid, it was given to your parents, your parents spent the money, and now you don't want to leave because sasa ataenda kuitisha your parents pesa. But you know what?
Yeah,
For a
you
person
see,
that can actually do this, you should not have been with this person in the first place. And this is why you should not overlook the small things when you're dating in the name of love is blind, because you get into marriage, it only gets worse.
It
You know?
magnifies everything else, and then you start like even hating yourself more. Why didn't I see this? Why is it affecting me? And then you have a miserable life. So so on that point, outside marriage, why would somebody stick in like a relationship? You've not gotten to the marriage part, you just in the
Fear,
dating.
fear of being alone and fear of this person is at least 60% good. What if I leave them and I am not able to find another person who at
But then
least can do that? I suppose
but
that's
then
one thing.
Naomi, but then this 40% is just so much. Like, it's affecting your mental health, it's affecting you personally, it's affecting how you're relating with other people. Why would you stick for that 40% when you can get out, get your 100, maybe be 100% for yourself and get better than that?
Some people are genuinely scared of being alone.
Yeah,
I
that's
have
true.
people actually literally you're in this relationship, you haven't even married this kajama. Not that you married them, it gives them the right to. People have
Mm.
are dating out here, are dating boys, first of all, who still get money from their parents. Na wanachapwa. Na wanakaa na wao. It's like madness.
I know that's wow.
Madness.
I can't.
They just
You see,
they just
I, I just can't.
that all brings me back to my initial point. Because fast. You should be single for like, I think one of the qualifications I'm going to look for in a partner is that you must have been single for more than 3 years. Because if you're not, then you won't be happy returning to that state of being single. A lot of people out here are so afraid of being single that they, stick in toxic relationships. They, they take a lot from their partner. They take a lot of crap, which is not supposed to be the case. Be single, be happy with yourself first before you get into any relationship, so that
that's
if
true.
it means going back to that single life, then you'll have made it so much easier, because you remember a time when you were so happy being single. You're not afraid to go back to that life.
That
Exactly.
is true. That is true. And like I think I don't know if I read this or I heard this somewhere where it was being said that when you're choosing a partner, don't just have standards for him, but he should have for you. You should have standards for yourself. What I believe in. This is a kind of life I'd like to live. This is what I want to do for myself. This is the kind of family I'd like to be in. This kind of place, friendships, just everything about life that you want, that you stand for. And then if this person measures up to that, then they're okay. Not finding this person and then now
Mm.
seeing what they are and then starting to justify and checking things. No, it should be you already have this, and then do they measure up? And if they don't, is this
Yeah.
something that truly, truly in the long run be comfortable with? That's how I think you should assess this.
Yeah.
That's why we have
I
deal
mean,
breakers in the first place.
you
When you're dating somebody,
you
before
have.
you say somebody, you're like
Mhm.
you have your deal breakers. What can I accept and what will I not accept? And at what to what extent do I accept this kind of thing? So that's why you have a period of knowing this person before you start dating them.
And
Yeah,
then I think on the issue of standards, I think it should be a two-way street, not just like I need a person who will do this and this and this and that. What are you bringing to the table as a person? You should not be
Exactly.
so harsh on this other person that you don't look at what you yourself are bringing in that relationship.
that is
Yeah.
very true. That is very true. And it's so often overlooked. Like, girls do not think about what they are bringing to the table.
Yeah,
They only
exactly.
what a boy brings to the table. And it's not only for him, by the way, when you think about what you're bringing to the table, what you're bringing to the table also shows your value, and he will respect
Mhm.
that. He
Yeah.
will
True.
respect it. Yeah, yeah.
True. True. I do agree that, and I think that's why, like, maybe most relationships fail in future. Like maybe marriages, like maybe somebody like a girl, Amanda too, and she has nothing to offer, and the guy is just
Hmm.
offering everything. At some point, they just realize, hey, I'm being drained by this person. Maybe that's when they start looking outside and nini, and you're just there waiting for him to provide everything from emotional support to financial to everything. And then he's like, he's just tired. He can't do it anymore. He's drained. He's at zero. So,
Yeah.
It's true. And it's not that they don't love you, by the way. It's just like we are the two of us in this relationship. It would really, really mean a great deal if you can help me out in some ways. You don't have to pay 50% of the bills, just
hmm,
help out in some ways. And at the very least, be able to take care of yourself. I think we are saying this for the millionth time in this video.
Mm-hmm.
Be able to take care of yourself.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that is true.
So, any other comments or something you'd like us to address?
Okay, so um,
Yeah,
would
Nancy
you,
asked what?
Nancy? No, continue.
No, you had asked what things do people stand for? Like, what are some of the dumbest things that people have done and do in relationships in the
Yes,
name of love?
let Dolphin should start.
Do you like?
Oh God.
Dolphin,
Getting matching tattoos. Getting matching
Oh,
tattoos.
you don't have a
Oh no,
tattoo.
just
You
kidding.
don't.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Hey, but there's those situations. Have you ever told somebody they're doing something wrong and then they tell you just don't understand because you're not in love or something like that? Hey!
I it has once backfired on me so bad. Like she gave me a whole lecture on how I interfered in her relationship and the relationship is between her and him, and I should. Oh my God, it was really bad. And mind you, she was complaining to me the whole dang time. So I just gave my opinion, and it was not good at all. So I think the bottom line is I don't even know what the bottom line is. I still believe love is not blind. It's a matter of just honestly being honest with yourself and knowing what am I willing to accept and what am I not going to accept, what can I compromise in and what can I not go beyond. And there's
Exactly.
nothing like making decisions and thinking with your heart.
And okay, if when it comes to love, this thing about compromising, if you people like the bottom line is you people should know each other well. Like if you know what the other person stands for, you know what you stand for, you know what the both of you can compromise on and what both of you cannot compromise on. So somebody will not bring a heart of letter bullshit expecting you to put up with it when he knows you're the kind of person who won't put up with it. So as long
Yeah.
as you people know each other, you know like by the ikifika hapa, it's not about this. It's something else.
Yeah. Delphine, closing
Yeah.
remarks.
My closing remark is that when you make someone compromise, it will just work at the moment. But trust you me, that thing is going to bite you in the in future. So don't don't compromise, please. When it's something that you know and you believe you can't compromise, then you'd rather just not compromise because it's going to save you a whole lot of trouble in future.
That's
Exactly.
true. That's true, and it does not only hurt you. For sure, you will. It will hurt you, and you will hate yourself for what you once did, and also it will make you resentful towards this other person. So how does it even help you that you compromise? Because you're going to come really resent him or her because it now seems like they made you do this. But remember, it was your decision.
Yeah. And also I think it would be selfish to want someone to compromise when you know so well this is not in their nature.
Yeah, it's
So
not comfortable.
you as a person should know that before you ask them to compromise for you. That is being selfish.
Yeah, I do agree with you on that. So
Yep.
I suppose that's what we have to share for this video. Have I closed anything out?
We'll that one when you remember.
I
Yeah.
know, like
Or maybe we'll have to make another video. No, it's one of those things that when you start talking about, you never actually really
you never,
finish.
yeah, you could never
Yeah.
really finish. I know, yeah.
When
Actually, I do think it's very possible for us to talk for another whole hour, but I think that will be too long of a video. So we're going to end
Yeah.
this one at this. Thank you so much, girls, for coming over, for being
You're
in my
welcome.
Yes, yeah, you I very much appreciate you being here and sharing your opinions. So guys, viewers, if you'd like us to make another video or if there's something you'd like to share about this topic, by the way, we'd really love to hear your opinion. Do you think
Mhm.
love is blind? What makes it blind? And if it's not blind, why do you think people say love is blind? And if you'd like to see the three of us again do a video, you can also tell us what video you'd like for us to do. Other than that, I have no other remarks.
subscribe.
If you
Subscribe.
like this video, give it a thumbs
Oh,
up. And don't
don't
forget
forget
to
to
click
subscribe
that subscribe button below
and the
and
notification.
the bell to give you notifications once Naomi uploads the video.